Hey everyone, welcome back to Crypto Cash. Thank you so much again for joining me here. Hope you're having a great day. Taking a look here at Solana, seeing what's going on. Double checking a few key factors here. First thing, just kind of preface, Solana's looking a lot better than most altcoins, and this is a very, very good sign. It doesn't mean we just get crazy with our long positions, but we can see this nice perfect bounce off of this key fib level here and or that 151, 152 support we identified yesterday. However, that could be short-lived if Bitcoin does end up fulfilling its potential retracement here and coming back down to its next Fibonacci retracement levels. Now keep in mind, we got to wait for the price action to close here today before we can update our fib levels there for Bitcoin. But at this point, it's generally just going to be a situation where we got to kind of be patient. I sent out basically my most recent video for Bitcoin is to wait to trade. That's the concept here. You want to probably consider waiting to trade Bitcoin. It's at this weird transition where it's topping out, but it's also very bullish. I don't really like to trade into that. I'm not a breakout trader, so it doesn't make a ton of sense to buy the top. Having said that, though, how's that going to affect altcoins, and more specifically, how's that going to affect Solana? Good news is from the bird's eye view, and just based on the last 48 hours, maybe even 72 hours, Solana has held fairly strong and has done very well for itself. It's outperformed in most cases other altcoins too, especially ones that you would think that were going to the moon, as they say, SUI and a few other key movers. We can see at this point here that's not happening. Those are just kind of falling off a cliff, and Solana's holding strong. So that's a very, very good sign. What we want to look at here with liquidation just quickly is a few key factors here. Just noting that there's not a tremendous amount of liquidation above or below the price action as far as like massive accumulations. We do have 150, that's that next area of support. That could be the next target. Keep in mind, Bitcoin runs towards 64, 65,000. You bet your high tail, even though Solana's doing very well, we'll probably see a retest that 150 level. Okay, so just keep in mind that may be a good consideration for a DCA target or just a short target if you're going to consider that. I'm not necessarily recommending shorting this coin, but we are more short biased at this point because if you take a look at our recent trades, we closed our Filecoin trade at a small loss. It was a long position, and we flipped over to an SEI short and just took profit this morning. Only about 16-17%. It pretty much offset the long position, but there's more meat on that bone there, if you will. Okay. So the reason why I mention all this is just because the market right now is showing that Bitcoin dominance is not slowing down. Okay, and that implies most altcoins are going to take a hit here soon and or are doing so already. So we got to be mindful of that and recognize it's not really a good condition right now to buy the dip for altcoins specifically. Now, Solana may be a different story. Let's take a look here. We can see the delta is increasing. We're getting a lot more longs versus shorts entering the market. We got our, let's see, this is our open interest at about 145. So that reaffirms that 145 to 150 is that support range for Solana. Let's go ahead and take a look here at the daily time frame for Solana, kind of see what's going on here. We can recognize we're printing a decent green doji here so far today. And again, you kind of compare that with Bitcoin, it's similar. But if you compare it with other coins, there's a lot of other coins just struggling pretty consistent. Okay, now again, the main reason why is because a lot of coins that are really falling off a cliff today are those who are like massively overextended. Solana's not really overextended much. It's kind of stuck in the 130 to 160 range. So this is kind of par for the course, if you will. Okay, all that being said, let's take a look at some important stuff. First of all, we got a lot of confluence here. Take a look at this. All moving averages are hanging out between 140 and 150, reaffirming that support range. So if heaven forbid the price pulls back, I think a solid consideration for a long would be in the low 140 range, 143 specifically, because that's always been our point of control. It continues to remain the same. We got a secondary point of control at 147 in the local range here, but generally speaking, I think 143 would be like that area of interest. I still have an alert set at that level just in case. In fact, let's go ahead and update this guy. Let's do 144 just to be safe. All right, so taking a look here, we can recognize that we are in a sweet spot here. We're not overextended. You got to keep in mind Bitcoin is running into its overextension level, if you will. More likely to see a pullback from Bitcoin. So I would just err on the side of caution and say it's probably best to wait for a better long position with Solana than it would be to take a short right now. This is kind of the way that you have to trade coins that are strong compared to Bitcoin. Yet, you got to treat it with respect is probably the best way to describe it. In other words, you don't want to short into an uptrend, which we're still in, but you want to consider and be open to taking it along, but not exactly at this level. Okay, so I know it's crazy and weird. I know people probably get bent out of shape because this guy online is recommending you don't take a trade because you're really literally looking for reasons to take a trade right now. That's why you're watching the video. But it's just kind of a funny little thing. So trust me, folks, there is something awesome about being patient and waiting for the right opportunity. You're going to have tons of FOMO, though. I just want to prepare you for that if you haven't already experienced that. Okay, what I'm getting at here is that the daily time frame looks pretty solid for Solana. Same thing here as well with the 4 hour. We're honoring our ascending trend line here with the 20-day SMA. We could literally even draw a trend line out for it to reflect that. And we can kind of see here, we're getting close to breaking that level though. Now again, you break free from a descending trend line, an ascending trend line, it doesn't mean the sky is going to fall. It just really implies you want to kind of pay closer attention, because as you can see here, this previous descending trend, once that was broken, the price took off. Granted, the market was in different shape then than it is now, but that's generally the concept, okay? So it's not just going to go like this because it breaks it. It just kind of implies that, hey, we may not want to be foolhardily bullish on this coin right now. All right, having said that, we're looking good. Stochastic and MACD are both diverging, but we're getting closer to our bottom there. We can also see RSI, money flow index, kind of hanging out here in that 60 range, which is just fine. Nothing super telling there. Our trend strength indicator is letting us know we're back under zero, the zero line, which isn't great. That really kind of lets us know that this move, I mean, if we're going to move to the upside, we got to make it happen soon. It should occur soon here. So let's take a look at the hourly and just kind of clarify. This is kind of a big mess, and this is a situation where you do not want to consider trading. Me personally, again, this is, if you trade in this range, not like it's a bad thing, it's just that you're kind of being like a breakout trader where you're hoping for a breakout, but you're not sure. You're taking a long into a key level resistance. We have a lot of resistance in the 157 and 160 level. We've talked about that previously in the past. So this area is going to be holding like a champ, I feel, until it doesn't. So the best thing to do in situations like this is to ensure that you take a long position when the price breaks free from this and retains that level, versus taking a long into it and getting rejected and going down. Okay, so again, that's just best practice. When you do see the hourly time frame, we're above the cloud, is awesome, but the conversion line and the baseline are close to each other, and the lagging span's not free and clear. So this really tells us there's no real consideration for long at this exact moment. It would be kind of ridiculous to take a long. I hope I'm wrong and the price goes up for you folks. Trust me on that, I do. But taking a long in the face of Bitcoin rejecting off a key level resistance, Bitcoin dominance being ridiculously high, and most altcoins minus this coin is dropping, it leads me to believe this will be the next one to pull back. Okay. Again, so areas of pullback, if you want to consider entry, I would say 143 is a solid consideration, and then secondary to that, 152 if you want to insist. Again, this level could still hold, but bear in mind we're kind of working our way into somewhat of a little trend here. So hypothetically, the price continues to go, in this direction. We're going to keep establishing lower highs and testing lower lows, or more so parallel lows. Those generally break to the downside and continue lower. So this pattern so far isn't great. I don't love it, but it hasn't actually happened yet. We're still in ascending trend, still got to respect it. So the trend is your friend until it isn't. Okay, that's kind of where we're at. I hope that makes sense. I described that correctly. If you're not familiar with these concepts, I described that pretty well in our Bitcoin video today, so make sure you check that out. That's available pretty much anywhere. Twitter, Telegram, and Discord. I'll post our playout chart here soon for our Solana trades here, and kind of go from there. Future reference too, I get the question a lot, how many day trades are sent for Solana per month? The results are in our Discord. You can go to here to premium stats. Generally speaking, we see Solana at about an average of 1 trade per day, and that's my day trading bot. I send Solana signals maybe 1 time a week, I would say roughly. So I'm not heavily trading this coin, but it's one of my favorite coins to trade. So if that gives you an indication. Anyways, thanks again so much for watching. I'll look forward to seeing the next one. Oh, very last thing too, you probably already wear this. Check out Bitunix, folks. Link down below. Awesome exchange. If you use my link to register, you get some nice benefit rewards there. The deposit bonus is eligible till the end of the month. This goes for anyone in my community, but also if you want to join, it's up to you. It's all there. No cost whatsoever except for your time. We'll look forward to seeing the next one. Have a good one. Bye-bye.